Facebook at DJC Radio Global, and we're going to pin it at the top of the page. And we are live at the DJ Cisco Radio Show LLC on Facebook. People, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Cisco is on right now, and indie artists' lives matter.
DJ Cisco, let's go. What up? 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 DJ, let's go. Shit. You were tuned in to the DJ Cisco Radio Show.com. Turn your speakers up. I used to rhyme in a circle before I blew up. Now I just show up. They turning the crown up. DJ Cisco, my favorite radio host. Your rap soliloquy. You don't know what to say to your ghost. He'll leave you dead on arrival, spinning them hot tunes. From New York to Charlotte, Cisco, we got you. If you want to hear the hottest music to get you live, 347-352-8625. So call it. DJ Cisco, let's go. What up? 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 DJ, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What's good, people? Happy Wednesday. It's your boy DJ Cisco right here on the #1 indie artist support network in the world. It's your boy DJ Cisco. Tonight we have the one and only LAK. He is a very talented educational hip-hop artist, and we're going to be chopping it up with him in a few. Don't forget to tell a friend that we are on. And right now, let's introduce the one, the only LAK. LAK, welcome to the show.
Peace, brother. It's good to be here, man. How you doing?
I am doing so great, and let me cut you up, get everything good. Can you hear me?
Great. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Beautiful, man. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. And you are doing some great things in hip-hop, brother. I was reading your bio, and I'm very, very impressed. King Charlie Prince, what's good? Welcome to the show. So let me get some background music going with your song, Black Woman. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed, and I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about your foundations and things that you've been doing. You have done some joints with some greats like Talib Kweli, Capone. Oh man, so Larry LAK is the founder of Smart Hip Hop Global and the creator of educational hip hop soul music. Let's just stop it right there and tell us what that's about.
Well, you know, in particular, when I say I'm the creator of educational hip hop soul music, one of the things that I wanted to convey is, you know, there's a way of doing educational hip hop music, and then there's a way of bringing a particular kind of authentic sound to it, and there's a way of really pouring your soul into this type of music and really dedicating yourself to that particular sound. But Smart Hip Hop Global, you know, this was a company created to really just spread educational hip hop music, to really teach kids in an unconventional way, and really to maintain the hip hop format and to maintain that authentic hip hop sound. You know, of course, everything with changes and sounds vary because, you know, there's always new waves, but there's a foundation or there's a core of hip hop, and we try to represent that.
That's what's up. Now, people that are tuned in, please share. Please share. I don't want to share because I don't want to get kicked off. I just want to keep this stream seamless. Now, what is your background, LAK? How did you become the person that you are now doing this? Like, what is your background?
You talking? I mean, you know, I'm from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Huh? I came up, as far as hip hop is concerned, you know, I came up listening to, you know, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Uzi Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Breadhead Kingpin, you know, Chubb Rock.
Kingpin, nice, okay.
Yeah, you know, Do the Right Thing. That was my joint back in the day. You know, it was I always consider myself as like the first generation born into hip hop. You know, what I mean, you got hip hop being created in the Bronx, and then you have that generation from that Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five to that Run DMC and that LL Cool J, My Radio. To me, that sort of it went from what you heard and what you saw from the message to I'm the king of rock, my radio. There was in my opinion, there was a shift there from that, and hip hop became something else. So as far as the lyrical style, when you're listening to your Rakim, to me, Rakim kind of changed everything. He was pretty much, in my opinion, like the first person that created a different wave in hip hop.
Yeah.
So I came out of that. I was the battle rapper. I was the guy that was breakdancing on graffiti. On cardboard. I had my own piece of cardboard where I was doing my windmills and my centipedes and all that, pop locking. Beatboxing, like the Fat Boys and like Dougie Fresh. I'm actually beatboxing on my album Lesson 2 on the song I Am Because We Are. That's actually me beatboxing. So I'm coming out of that as far as why is this educational thing or why this hip hop core is in me.
Gotcha.
And outside of that, I've always, not always, but I became an avid reader. You know what I'm saying? I became somebody who was interested in different subjects and topics, and, different debates was really the foundation of me wanting to gain more knowledge, whether I was on the corner listening to arguments with, between different religious sects.
Yes.
Like the 5%ers and the Nation of Islam and the Christians and the Jehovah's Witness, and or having the political battles between, is the Republicans and Democrats just two wings on the same bird, or should you should you vote or should you not vote because our vote don't make a difference? All of those arguments was things that I grew up around.
So sorry to cut you off. What state are you from? What borough? What?
I am from New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Oh, New Brunswick, Jersey. Jersey, stand up. That's what's up.
Yeah, Jersey. My homes is New Brunswick and Willingboro, New Jersey. Those are the two places that I really came up in. And you want to throw Franklin, New Jersey in there. But New Brunswick and Willingboro are definitely, my two hometowns.
Big shout. Now, you said that there was a shift in hip hop.
Yeah. What do I think that shift was? Well, when you look at like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, even though the message is one of the hardest, songs, when you look at their style and how they came into the game,
yes,
that did not represent the culture of the hood. What I mean? Now, and I'm not saying that them individually that they didn't as people, but I'm talking about the public image that they came out with.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? That was the leather pants, and you know what I mean, and wow, there was more like black rock and roll stars.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In this new age of rapping. You know what I'm saying? In that whether it was the Sugar Hill Gang, and those early stages.
Yes.
But then now you got Run DMC with your Adidas. And now you have LL Cool J with the Kangol.
Exactly.
Now you got, Rakim just with this whole cool swag. Now you got Big Daddy Kane with the high top fade.
Yes.
So now you have a culture that looks like the people. When you go outside, now the rappers that you see on television, it looks like the people that you live around. And it became like a culture, like this is how we look anyway. This is our music. So now this is our culture. This is how we talk, and how we talk is being amplified through this music now, and it's going all over. But that culture thing was just, it's a big it's a way that it can get represented to everybody.
Yes.
So that's what I mean when I think that it was that initial shift.
Yes.
That phase, because then it was also another phase.
Yeah. Because there was a visual shift. You are absolutely right. I had Raheem from Grandmaster Flash from the Furious Five. He was on the show several weeks back, and I asked him about that. I was like, "What made you guys dress like that?" And he said, "We were just performers wearing costumes." I was like, "Wow, okay." So then Like you said, when the Run DMCs came and Jam Master Jay, he's the one that actually said to them, I'm not dressing like that. I'm wearing this. And that's how that happened. So I know you love the era of X Clan and Poor Righteous Teacher and things like that, right? So is that where you said I really fit in, or it started before?
Nah, it was actually way after that.
Way after.
Yeah, when I was listening to the Poor Righteous Teachers or X Clan or Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane giving us the messages, I wasn't, number one, I was a lot younger, and I couldn't even catch everything that the X Clan was saying when they came out and said it. What they were saying to me at the time that they said it was foreign information at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just a battle rapper. I was just somebody who read a lot, who was trying to, make metaphors, and my lifestyle wasn't a reflection of this conscious lifestyle that I'm striving to live now. So the shift with the music, it really came at a time when I got older, graduated from college, still rhyming. I started rhyming in the 4th grade, so it's not, a friend of mine came to me and asked me to write a song for children. He didn't say what song or this and that. He was like, yo, I'm working on a kid album. I need you to write a song and have it about, children. Because we as Black men, we're going to come out with this project. So that was maybe around 2002, 2003, you know what I mean? Somewhere around there. And in that moment, I was already working on a song about the presidents of the United States, but I was making an adult song, just a regular hip hop song. Not a regular, but I was about to go in, you know what I mean? So what I did was I shifted the tone of that so that it could fit what I think would be good for children. I changed the whole mood of the song. And that song was called The First 25 Presidents, which is on Lesson 1. That's the first educational song that I wrote in its entirety.
Nice.
That moment and that song changed everything as far as what I would later become. You know what I'm saying? Because it was after I wrote that, then I went on to write Black Women in Congress. Then I went on to write Inventors. Then I went on to write The Moors. Then I went on to write 50 States. Next thing you know, I have this whole educational body of work, and I wanted to continue that. The original plan didn't work out. The album that I was supposed to be a part of, none of that really materialized. But I enjoyed making this type of music so much. You know what I'm saying? Because of everything that I was already involved with. I already read a lot. I already had a massive library. I'm already a rapper into hip hop. I'm already for the people. Like, everybody who knows me knows that I didn't just jump on I'm doing this for the people. My whole life has been like that, a reflection of that.
Yeah.
So I love doing it. I enjoy doing it. I formed a company around it. And that's where Smart Hip Hop Global came from. I knew that I didn't anticipate anyone helping me or trying to push this out or promoting anything that was positive. I know how positive Black music is treated.
Yes.
So at that point, I'm like, I tightened up my boots and said, this is the direction that I'm gonna go. Period.
Gotcha.
And I really enjoyed making this kind of music, and it really, it went from Lesson 1. 4, 5, 6 albums, trying to sell CDs. You're talking about 2005, 2006. We still trying to hustle the CDs out the back of the trunk. And I was doing really nice with that. But then it just became bigger. Then the album, Lesson 1 was official. And then that came out. And then that took me around the world.
Let me just stop you because I know your bio, but I want the people to know about you. Okay. So how did you get connected with these heavy hitters like Talib Kweli and Capone, and how did you start doing collabs with them?
Well, Lesson 2, you know what I'm saying? Capone's on there. Talib Kweli's on there. My man Megahertz is on there. My man Mercury Beats is on there. And I just want to give a special shout out to my man Merc Beats. My man, me and Merc is friends. We've been friends since the 7th grade.
Okay.
Merc is a super producer. And, when I went after Lesson 1 came out and I had the success, it had the success that it had. to me, right? I then wanted to upgrade everything for lesson 2. I didn't anticipate lesson 1 doing what it did. I just wanted to put it out for the people. I wanted to do that, do my own thing, go into the schools. I didn't know that it was going to take me in the places that it took me. So by the time it was lesson 1, I'm like, yo, I'm going to make a bigger move.
Okay.
Then I picked out, I had a list of 3 MCs. Three MCs that I wanted to holler at. Talib Kweli was the first person.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, my man Dave has worked with him before. He knew him. So, Merc Beats, it's my man, so I call him by his first name. But I asked Merc, I was like, yo, could you put me in contact with Talib Kweli? He was like, cool, and he did it. Talib heard what I was about. He heard the music. He heard where I wanted to go. You know, he's coming from an educational background as far as his own family and things of that nature. So it was, for him, it was a perfect fit.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And that's how that connection happened on that particular song.
Beautiful.
Capone, Merc was also working with Capone, working on a project with him and Daz. So I'm like, yo, brother, I was tying up lesson 2, and it was the last album. It was the last track on the album, right? Because I was actually already done with the album. But once he said he could introduce me to the brother, I'm like, cool. I had a conversation with him. I had a concept. Capone did his homework on me, as those are his exact words. Like, I did my homework on you.
Nice.
And we met in the studio when we recorded the song Redemption. So that when you listen to lesson 2 and you're listening to that song, the whole vibe of that, you know, that's the first time that Capone and I had a conversation. We met before, saw each other in the studio, passing each other, you know, different events and whatnot. But the first time we had a conversation and things of that nature was that song. So that's how I linked up with those 2 brothers. And then from there, me and Capone formed a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Me and Talib's cool. We did a show not too long ago. It was a cool experience just talking to him and going over the One America joint. But then me and Capone, like, a special friendship formed from that. And then that is how Wolves came about. You know what I'm saying? Then that, and Wolves led to the company Smart Thug Entertainment, which not formed.
Let me just stop you right there, because this is an independent artist radio station. Yes. So I like to pick successful people's brains and a little bit of their formula on how they did what they did. Now, you are in a tough lane when it comes to educational, pro-Black, or uplifting hip-hop. I heard you say that you went around to schools and different things. How did you market it in these times where they really don't give this type of music airplay?
Well, I'm married to a marketing genius. And yeah, my wife is.
Look at you.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we both use both of our talents to form this company and go out and do what we do. You know, that's our company. You know, my lane is the music, her lane is the marketing, and those are the 2 powers that helps everything run.
Okay.
You know, between us coming together, putting this product together, and you know, just making sure that we give people quality work, making sure that we give people quality music, making sure that everything is done to perfection, to the best level that we can get it, is what is causing this train to keep moving forward.
And then you guys pounded the pavement. You didn't stay home behind your computers. You got out and was with the people.
Yeah, when we first, you know, our first interaction with going out to the schools, you know, we started doing this in about 2007. So that's when we was going to the schools, going to the STEM projects, visiting every hood. You know, from Jersey, that means, you know, going to Plainfield or Teaneck or Newark or Irvington or Camden, being in Philly or being in Delaware, then going to Atlanta, or then going to the South Carolinas, or then going to Cali. And, you know, but being in those areas where we know that there's challenges in the educational system, and we know that there's messages that's constantly being put out that has nothing to do with positivity. So we went into those areas, and the music was very well received, and the company was very well received. So that just opened the doors for bigger and better things. It went from those schools. We were giving out books and doing things basically for free. And getting to a level where now, you know, we're performing in front of large crowds and doing different shows, and it went from like schools to club venues and different things. So it became something different.
That's dope, man. You're giving me goosebumps. I love a success story independently. You
Yeah.
guys did this without a big conglomerate backing you, putting you guys in debt. For those of you that just tuned in, we have my man LAK on DJC Radio Global. Tell us, what does your name mean? I should ask you that from the beginning, but what does LAK stand for?
Lyrics and knowledge.
Lyrics and knowledge. And he has several companies. We were just talking about one of his companies and his collaborations with Talib and Capone. And give us the name of your company once again.
Smart Hip Hop Global.
Smart
Thug Entertainment. You know, Smart Hip Hop Global is the foundation of that's the company my wife and I started. That's the company we built. We've been working on since around 2006, 2007, with Lesson One coming out in 2012. So you just look at that grind and that process before that first official album came out. And then linking up with Capone and still doing my thing and still being true to what I do, and then forming Smart Thug Entertainment, which we're trying to do more. We're doing music still, but we're going to do more than that. You know, we have a lot of things in store to try to keep uplifting and educating our people and everybody as well.
So you do more than music. Do you have any books coming out? Any documentaries?
I am working on a documentary, which is crazy. I just got to get a lot of editing done, and I'm working on a play right now. Which is an educational hip hop play, which is going to be real cool. Just writing it, making sure it gets perfect. You know, there's a lot of things that I'm adding and taking away. I've been working on it for quite some time now. But so you have another album coming out. I just dropped the Black Matters album for the month of February for Black History Month.
Nice.
Which is out now, and everybody can go get that. And Black Matters is a compilation of songs from Lesson One, Lesson Two, and Wolves. So you have another album that's going to come out, new music that's going to come out right after that. And you're going to have a play that's going to come out right after that. And then, there's other business ventures that we're going to do that's also just going to prove to be positive for people in our community.
Got you. Now, this show is sponsored by Project Unity. Project Unity is a company that I formed back in 2017 when Donald Trump was running for office, where I said, I'm going to try to unite this country through my music and at the same time stomp out racism and feed the homeless. So we've been all around this nation. We were doing great before COVID hit. And I was just thinking today, before I even knew where you were from, I was like, you know what? I think we want to start Project Unity 2021 when we can all get together in Delaware.
Okay.
So I would love for you to be a part of that, brother.
Yeah.
Performance, or you just come by and speak to the people, or whatever, however.
Without a doubt, Delaware's right there, man.
Exactly. So I have a video for you, and it's called What Can You See?
What you see.
So, what you see.
Yeah,
Tell us
pardon me?
Tell us about this song.
What You See was actually the second song that Capone and I ever recorded. That actually led to the Wolves educational EP that we did. Because after we did the song Redemption and I put it on Lesson Two, and we had such a great chemistry, I'm like, well, I asked him, can we do another song? I'm like, we got this great chemistry. We met, everything's cool. We went through a process of getting to know one another.
Okay.
And then it was like, let's. So we went back into the joint, into the lab, and then we recorded So What You See. You know what I'm saying? So this is a song where we're hearing the beat, we're in the studio, we're writing, we're coming up with the hook, everything in the studio. Wow. And then that song came out. We loved it so much. That's when Capone was like, yo, we might as well do an educational EP. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, let's do it. But that song was really just the vibe that we had. It was the energy. Like it was just a beat playing and we didn't even know where we were going to go with that. It was just like, you stay in your corner and write your bars. I'm gonna come over here. And then even when we was coming up with the hook, it was like I had my part, he had his part, and it was in sync. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, cool. And so what you see was the product of that. And it was one of my favorite joints. Okay. I mean, the whole EP is crazy. Footprints is one of my favorite joints. You know what I mean? Black Woman, all of the joints. But what you see was the second song. And that song is special to me because it led to the Wolves EP.
Got you. So what you see is you and Capone. There were no other features?
Nah, it's myself, it's Capone, and Merc Beats produced it and came up with the track. And on that song, it's just him and I. That's
what's up, people. We're gonna get to this video here.
I'm sorry. My brother, my man, my right-hand man, Lamar is on that singing the hook. You know,
okay.
I don't know how I would even say forget about that. That's my man. Lamar Kelsey, L Unique. He's the R&B artist that's singing on that hook. Beautiful. And that's my man. That's a very good friend of mine as well, and a good friend of Capone's as well.
All right, people. So you're rocking with DJC Radio Global. We have recording artist LAK on, and this is his joint with Capone. And who's singing again?
Lamar Kelsey. We call him L Unique.
And this is called What You See, right here on DJC Radio Global.
From the school of 5%ers, the knowledge that's within us is God-given. We winners, we young inventors. The first black dentist was Robert Freeman. I dropped out of high school, never made it to Lehman. Instead, I saw a jail cell, reading, learning the meaning of black power. Bible paper to rap sour. Our bloodline is designed from greatness. Architects, still we screw face each other like we in mark for death. It be your own kind scheming soon as you park the Lex. Ain't no coming back when your soul depart your flesh. We need more Hueys and more Langstons and more Malcolms, more silence, less shooters and more scholars. Nipsey died at 33, the same age as Jesus. He had known prophet, prolific, that's real a modern thesis. Unification's longevity. They wonder why the end don't live to see seven. So what you see, God?
Yo, when I see you, I see me, God. Eternal light reflecting in between, God. So tell me what you see, God.
I see half the youth that's lost. Coming up misguided, they dying the flaws. So what you see, God?
I see the revolution ain't for free, God. As people fight demons, they don't see God. So tell me what you see, God.
I see the revolution in the modern era. And we all stand for one cause, unity, ride together. What you see, God?
I see the God in my fellow man, trying to teach the babies we interrupting the devil's plan, overstand the obvious. Gangster with the consciousness, jewels drip like alkaline water down the esophagus. I could just level my composure from the wild hyper. That's why your foul energy be non-cypher. Split decisions be causing my youngins decades. Pin it to the rhythm, but then I'm feeling like Wes Crave. Listen, you the leader that you looking for. Instead of complaining about what kings won't do, get the rook involved. Pain about your can-dos and not nails. Plot the cause, friends in this span. Top down, on and off. Mastering the self-living life is the education. Heads on the line to civilize elevation. You create reality in your imagination. Way the sauce drip while you understandably hate.
So what you see, God?
Yo, when I see you, I see me, God. Eternal light reflecting in between, God. So tell me what you see, God.
I see half the youth that's lost. Coming up misguided, they dying the flaws. So what you see, God?
I see the revolution ain't for free, God. As people fight demons, they don't see God. So tell me what you see, God.
I see the revolution in the modern era. We all stand for one cause, unity, ride together. I'm gonna hit you right back. I'm gonna hit you right back. All right, I got you locked in, baby.
Was good. That right there was a banger. That was
Yeah.
what you see with LAK Capone and the singer
Lamar Kelsey, L Unique in the building.
Lamar Kelsey. That's what I'm talking about. LAK. So listen, this is really like a very different type of interview than I've been doing with the average indie artist because of what you got going. Is it any type of like educational books that you could recommend for a young person that's trying to become woke and find themselves, or just anybody, period? Is there any type of readings that you can recommend for us?
I'll show you what I'm reading right now at the moment.
Sounds good.
I'm actually reading this book right here. Spiritual Warriors Are Healers by Brother Mfudishi. I'm
Okay.
in the process of reading this book right now.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to doing other different things. But you know, man, if you go to my page
Okay.
on Instagram, Smart Hip Hop, I put out books of the month.
Oh,
So you'll be able to see a list of books in there that I think is pretty cool, including The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, or Miseducation of the Negro, or you know, there's books by Dr. Ben.
okay.
And there's some good joints up there, man. I don't even
Now,
remember them off top everything, but I got some good. I think I got the ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Wilson up there. You know, these are all books that I've read. So, you know, and some of them I've read The Destruction of Black Civilizations 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? It's still, you get more out of it every time you read it. But,
yeah.
you know, there's a wealth of knowledge out there. She can't go wrong with just picking up a book and reading. You know, my Uncle Joe used to say, you got read everything you get your hands on.
Exactly.
So it's, you know, I would start there, but The Spiritual Warriors Are Healers, that's just the book that I'm reading right now. You know what I mean? It's a great book. You know, Brother Mfudishi is one of my heroes. And I'm Jabario Saze. He got a good book out. I think it's called The 7 White Lies. I just read it.
Okay.
I hope I don't mangle up the title. Enough respect to that brother.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's also one of the books on the Instagram page. So
Gotcha.
you will find, if you go to my Instagram page, which is Smart Hip Hop, every month, I think for at least the past couple of years,
Okay.
2-3 years, I've been putting out a book. I got Ivan Van Sertima, who was one of my professors at Rutgers. I have his book Blacks in Science in there, which is an awesome read. You know, there's some gems. There's some gems.
Man, you're gonna make me dust off some books and get back into it, brother. It's very inspirational. No, but seriously. Now let's get a little bit political.
Okay.
And I don't wanna sound like our parents did when we was first listening to hip hop.
Okay.
But this is a question, you know, just please answer it truthfully or however you want.
I only speak the truth, brother.
Got you, brother. Now, do you remember how when hip hop first started and parents was like, oh my God, that music is not good for your soul and like this and that, you know, certain eras of it, definitely. Do you think current hip hop is good for the soul, our kids mainly? The current stuff we're listening to on the radio, the Megan Thee Stallions, the babies, and do you think that they're part of a problem with crime and teenage pregnancy or just negative vibes, period? Or You think the music has nothing to do with it?
I think music is a reflection of whatever the people that are making it at that particular time are going through. So
Okay.
when we're listening to music, you know, one of the things that we have to understand is that that is how this generation is explaining themselves to us. We're
Okay.
living in a different time. We can't even compare it. You know what I mean? So when we're listening to whatever these kids are saying about lean and drugs, we have to understand that they're telling you what's going on in their communities. They're not
Yes.
promoting it like that. Like the rappers aren't the people. The people that you hear on the radio aren't the people that's creating the culture that they're speaking about. They might be the megaphones of it. So we have to listen to it and we got to digest it and we got to say, okay, well, we see where this is going. So do you either want to say, yo, this generation is crazy and act like that? Or do you want to say, yo, we have to take it upon ourselves to put more positive music out there, to do more things, to bring more light to the artist that's not talking about this? Because we also know that there's a machine out there that wants to push these negative images and put them to the forefront. There's there's a bunch of rappers who's always on a positive note. But
I have them. Yeah.
Things aren't behind them, they're not going to be heard. And the messages that we're listening to, that's what these kids are going through. You know what I'm saying? This is a different generation.
Got you. Now, listen, you are absolutely right. I'm not saying that these particular kids that are rapping about these certain things are not going through them.
Mhm.
However, there are hundreds of thousands of millions of other people who are not going through that. They're having a great life. They're living a good life. They can spread some positivity, but the programmers are not allowing to do that. Do you think that's by design?
Well, that's definitely by design. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely by design that the programmers and the powers that be are pushing out a particular message. I just don't think that we can ignore the fact that the messages that's being spout is the actual culture of the streets. These kids is not lying to you. When they're telling you they drugged out and all, they're not exaggerating. We're looking at it, you know, there's people that's gonna look at it and be like, yo, that's crazy, what you doing? But if you go to their hoods, it's different out there. This is not the 80s, this ain't the 90s, this is not the early 2000s. This is a different time. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, kids, they got bigger, the guns, you know what I mean, the violence, everything is crazy. So when you're listening to them, we cannot underestimate the fact that they're telling you a story that is their actual story.
Exactly.
So it might sound crazy, and there's going to be people who listen to it and be like, yo, what's wrong with the youth? But if you go to their blocks and their communities, that is how they are getting down. And we either got to do more to change it, or the machine is always going to be behind them, because pushing negative images is bigger than hip hop.
Exactly.
And pushing out those type of messages, that's bigger than us. But it's almost like there's a certain part of that has succeeded. You know what I'm saying? Because that negative message, it's going to permeate, and it's going to make people, it's going to influence you to do something that you might not normally have done if you're that susceptible to the music. But we just can't ignore that people are telling their own stories. You know what I'm saying? Those are just news reporters. That's just hood.
You are absolutely right about them telling their stories, but I want these programmers just for 2 years, bro, to recondition, because they're brainwashing by repetition. I just want them for 2 years to put a positive show on. Just give a show for 4 hours once a week or whatever, playing some positive music, and I think it will change. But it's like too much going on right now, and my background is dealing with those type of juveniles because I have a juvenile law enforcement background. So what you're saying is absolutely true. Some of the places I've been, I was nervous. I was like, damn, it's like this. You know what I mean?
I had a job. It is. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even. It was so crazy. I had, after a year, I couldn't work there. You know what I'm saying? Not because I couldn't handle the job, but it was. I knew that I had to do something different. You know what I'm saying? That's not my spirit. So it was
It works on your mental. It works on your
In my
mental.
opinion, well, it's up to you and me. You know what I'm saying? We have to do it independent of the powers that exist.
Yes.
That's why when I created Smart Hip Hop Global, I'm like, yo, I already know no one's going to help me. I'm not looking for help. I'm not asking you for nothing. I already know your answer. So why am I, I'm not even playing those games with you. I had to take this upon ourselves to move this and push this out. No one's going to help us. There's no programmers. The machines will never do that because their issue is bigger than that. Their issue is the destruction of the Black civilization. Their issue is to divide the family. Their issue is to create this is you're older, you're younger. There's no unity there. That is their job. You know what I'm saying? So,
Got you.
I'm never going to expect for those type of machines to, when X-Clan and Public Enemy and Self-Destruction and Queen Line and all that, they changed all that quick.
Very quick. We were united, having a great time, and they changed it quick. Anyway, man, we have LAK right here on DJC Radio Global. Another super duper great interview. And guys, I got a surprise for you. We are on Roku and Fire Stick now. So all these interviews and everything, you can catch them in your living room, sitting on your couch. You know what I mean? Big shout out to my man Wes Johnson. He said positive don't sell.
I don't believe
Absolutely
that.
Right. Huh?
I don't believe that positivity doesn't sell.
Well, let me just defend him for a second.
Okay.
I think he's saying on a mainstream platform currently. That's what I think he means.
Here's my thing.
Okay.
J. Cole sells. Talib's big. I'm running all around the world. If the only thing that you see, like I said, there's a bigger picture. Like I go through, me and my wife and I with this company, we go through a lot just to present this music to you.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's not selling. Number one, you have to have the artists that are qualified to give you positive information in the first place. Number two, you can't have an artist that's not an artist trying to force a message down your throat that doesn't come out naturally. So if I wasn't a hip hop artist, but I'm like, yo, I want to do something for kids, and then I just come out there and try to do that, you're not going to be receptive towards me. It's not going to be a natural sound. You know what I mean? And then if the other artists that are mad nice, like a Black Thought, like a Nas, you know what I'm saying? Like that, the last Jay-Z albums, the 444 joint and all.
No one understood, but good.
Right, but you're able to hear these messages, you know what I'm saying? They're still stifled because there's a bigger picture. There is the destruction, but those positive messages, we have to promote it. I got to promote it, you know what I'm saying? Find different, we have to create our own lane. You know what I mean? That's the only way that we're going to do it because there's a bigger fight.
Step by step. And I'm with you, brother. Big round of applause, man. I absolutely love your positivity. I love your messages. I love your foundation. I love everything about you because, like you said, it doesn't seem like you just jumped on the bandwagon. This is in your soul and something that you've been doing. Tell the world how they can get in touch with you and how they can contact you and all that.
Cool, man. Listen, Smart Hip Hop on Instagram, Smart Hip Hop on Facebook, Smart Hip Hop on Twitter. Smart Hip Hop, one word, is the way to get at me. I'm easily accessible on all of those platforms. You know, if you're going to hear me, you know what I'm saying? But definitely use the public media platforms. Definitely use Instagram. Definitely use Facebook. Definitely use, because these are, you know, back in the day, I feel like I would give you my number or my name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these are the outlets that we're using today. You know what I'm saying? Instagram is big. Facebook is big. Even though these companies, they definitely try to, you know, we had a problem trying to promote Harriet Tubman, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. Yo, it's been wild. You know, people really are interested when you're putting out positive music. It's unbelievable. But those are the ways that you can get at us, man. And the album is available on all streaming platforms. Get the Lesson 1, get Lesson 2, get Wolves the EP, and get that Black Matters album right now from iTunes, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, on all your streaming platforms. LAK, Smart Hip Hop is the company, and we move it.
Now we're gonna end the interview with a song in the background that's playing, and it's called Black Woman. This sample right here, brother, sounds very Afrocentric. I'm not trying to get your sample, but
Nah,
tell us
it
about
was
this song.
crazy. This sample, when I first heard it, I never heard it before in my life. I walked into the studio and Merk was playing the record, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm doing a song to that." I was going to
Ooh.
do a song about Queen Nzinga to that joint, the way that I did Harry. Me and Capone had a conversation. He came into the studio talking about Assata Shakur, and it was a natural conversation. So that conversation turned into that song. After we recorded it, I heard like 4 or 5 more songs with the beat, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But
it doesn't matter.
It resonated in my soul, and the story that I wanted to tell. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the original name for that song was called "The Black Woman Is God." But you know, we changed that. I practice African spirituality. Capone is more of your, you know, he rolls with the gods, nations of the earth. So I mean, we definitely just had our conversations about that. But you know, all love, all positive.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's it was all peace. But that beat, when I heard it and I walked into the studio, oh man, it was an immediate. I'm like, yo, Merk. I was like, I don't care what is going on. I was like, that's mine. I don't care what you need, whatever. And then, you know, he ended up doing that track for myself and Capone. It worked out lovely. But when I first heard that track, I heard no one on it. And then by the time the album came out, because, you know, you record and then you record, and you record and then you put it together. And then by the time it came out, then I heard everybody using the sample. I'm like, yo, that's nuts. You know what I'm saying? But I wish
it's all good, brother.
Only artists on that me and Capone was the only people with that sample right there. The world.
Well, listen, say no more. And I just want you to end on some good thoughts or whatever, or shout outs that you have, and then introduce your song, and then we're going to move on.
I just want to shout out to my team, man. I want to shout out to my family, my wife, my baby girls, man. Everybody that's cool with me. You know, it's a lot, and I don't even want to get into the names, man. Shout out to my brother Capone. I know he wasn't feeling well. Now he's getting right. Shout out to my man L Unique. Shout out to the Angels. Shout out to my brothers, my sister, man. Just this is all my friends, man. AD, CeeLo, you know what I'm saying? My peoples. You know, it's too many to shout out. But get the album Black Matters. It's out right now. Smart Hip Hop Global is the company. Smart Thug is the company. Smart Thug Entertainment is the company. Smart Hip Hop on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm Larry LAK Henderson. All of that good stuff, man. And positive vibe. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being a person that provides this platform for the independent artists, because this answers the question of how do we do this and how do we get this music out and how do we do it on our own. This is how. This shows how.
Thank you so much, brother. Introduce this song right here on DJC Radio Global. Introduce Black Women, please.
Black Woman, myself, Capone from the legendary group CNN, about Assata Shakur, Queen Nzinga. Check it out. Produced by Merk Beats, super producer. You're hearing it right here.
Peace, LAK. Talk to you soon, homie.
Peace, King.
The black woman's alive. Yeah. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive.
We turned the fugitives from American justice.
The black woman's alive.
The return of the cop killer, Joanne Chestnut.
Flashback to the Turnpike 73. Cop shot on the floor. Who's the culprit Assata Shakur? First they attacked the Panthers. They dropped COINTELPRO papers with all these questions and then subtract the answers. These females think they got it hard, then result of dancing. Imagine being America's most wanted like Charles Manson. The epitome of a goddess, facing a murder rap, railroaded on all the charges. So they took her freedom. In the hospital, shot up, still bleeding. Took her to the precinct for a lineup. Your Honor, wasn't interested in the facts, just the fact that the officer was white and she was black. When the trial was a wrap, she was pregnant by a co-defendant. They put the gun to her stomach while a baby in it. Don't need another leader, they ain't wanna feed her. Hoping she miscarried, that was the pig's manners. All along she had another plan. Show the strength of a queen that's from the motherland. All praises, she ended up in Cuba, no extradition. Black woman, you need to listen. Yeah. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive.
Every time I went delving deeper into the history of African people and the history of the world, which is the history of African people, I always went into the black woman. There was no way to get around the black woman in this whole process.
The black woman is God. She birthed man like blackness through the stars. When the creator made her, a portal opened in time. Now we manifest reality through a womb that's divine. It was prophesied that birth she'd be a leader. Umbilical, wrapped around her neck, call her Nsinga. Queen of Ndoga, queen of Matamba, kingdom of Mbundu, people of Angola. Ruler like a father, she's serious with the combat. Slavery was popping, she made the Portuguese fall back. Play it like she kidding, she bring it to where you all at. Turned the servant into a throne so she could talk facts. Pressure made her brother commit suicide. That's when she stepped up like it's do or die. Whatever the unified, never deal with cowards do. Mover of the generals, the black woman is powerful.
Yeah. The black woman's alive. 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 Yeah. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive. The black woman's alive.
Now, I'm sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut
The black woman's alive.
who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes. And so they said to him, well, what about God? And he said, she is black.
Yeah, there you have it. That's Black Woman. That is LAK and Capone. Another banger, another dope interview, another dope indie artist right here on DJC Radio Global. The indie artist station that's been providing decades of support for independent artists from all over the globe. I want to thank LAK for being on the show. He gave us a hot hour, and we're going to get up on out of here. This show is going to go into rotation. Don't forget to follow DJC Radio Global everywhere. Like I said, we are on Roku, and we are on Fire Stick now, so you can check out some videos there, some shows there. Happy 2021 to everybody that's tuned in. Let's please be safe. We're going to start Project Unity soon. We're going to go around feeding the homeless, doing those showcases, giving away some great prizes. Talk to you soon. Keep it locked right here on DJC Radio Global. Don't forget that the radio station plays 24/7, 365 at www.the Cisco Radio Show. www.the Cisco Radio Show. Keep it locked.